Diamond Niners Weekly for Week 4 of the 2025 season. I am Nick, joined as always by Kevin.
Hey, what's up, Niner Nation?
With producer Brad making it all happen.
Hey.
All right, folks, we got a good show lined up for you tonight. We want to thank all of you for tuning in. If you like what we're doing here, make sure that you subscribe to Diamond Niner Report either on YouTube or on Spotify and turn on notifications so you get notified of great new content like this. You can also find Diamond Niner Report all over social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, never TikTok. Okay. All right, boys. So we got this has been a week. It's Thursday night. The series starts tomorrow. We're a little late doing this, but I'm just gonna tell everybody at home, okay? This is inside pool here. It's been a busy week for everybody involved. Whether it was baseball tryouts and practice for Coach Kevin, producer Brad, Ash Wednesday was this week, so he's involved in that. It's just been one thing after the other. So we got the show lined up for tonight. There's no guest. It's just us. We're going to talk a little Niner baseball, old school style. It's 9:30 on Thursday night, and we do have the Niners basketball on TV right now. So this is. Kevin, here's your score update. It's 15-12 North Texas over Niners. Still first half.
Yeah, well, Niners hanging tough there.
Yeah, for those of you that are aware that basketball season's still happening.
Yeah, well, they've got their senior day on campus on Sunday. So, if you're not at the Hayes, head over to Halton and see those guys.
Yeah, if you're not at the Hayes. So let's get into this a little bit. Last weekend, I think, Kevin, was one of the more conflicted weekends that we've had in a long, long time. And what I mean by that is that, we don't do moral victories, right? That's not what we're about. I know the players and the staff aren't about that, and neither are we. And the Niners went to Arkansas and took on the number 4 team in the country and took 3 L's. Okay, so there's no way around that. But my goodness, watching those games. The fight that those boys put up in Arkansas, I was impressed. I know a lot of other people too. Hogs fans were impressed because they're still tweeting about it. But I'm gonna start off the show right here, Kevin, with just giving the boys unbelievable credit for the fight they showed all weekend in Fayetteville.
Yeah, back and forth all weekend. It was just like very similar to ODU weekend where both teams were very equal, it seemed, and all 3 games could have gone either way. Could have gone a sweep in either team's direction. Could have been a 2-1 split. So just a hit here or there, pitch here or there, it makes a huge difference. But in the end, they took 3. Hats off to them for scheduling us on a weekend. Usually we only get opportunities like that on midweeks.
Yeah.
And we got to go down there and throw our best 3 against their best 3. And we held our own, and we knocked their Friday guy out of the game pretty early. And we gave them all they wanted, and then some. But just couldn't.
Led that Friday game 9-1.
Yeah, couldn't do the nail down that coffin at the end. But yeah, back and forth. It's good. It's good. So looking forward, you've got. If you're going to be a regional, if you're going to win a regional, you're going to have to beat a team like that twice.
That's right. In a place like that.
Yeah, in a place like that. You're going to have to beat them once or twice. To advance, to win a super regional, you have to beat a team like that in a place like that twice. So it's definitely a good experience, and we proved that we were capable of playing with teams like that on that level. Regional, super regional, Omaha level team. And And yeah, I mean, it stinks to get swept, obviously, but there's lots of positives to take away from a weekend like that.
Well, we're still, and this is just the nature of the beast these days. The rosters are in flux, and there's a lot of moving parts. We're still feeling this team out. I mean, even us. I mean, we watched this team all fall into January, and we've gotten through 3 weekends of playing against against live competition, and it's obvious we're still trying to figure a few pieces out. There's some moving parts, but all the new guys we've got on this roster, and if you ask me, I think the team's coming together. Now, we'll get to this, but the next 2 weeks, what the team does is they have a chance to validate what we saw. It's one thing to go and do what they did in Fayetteville, which, we're going to keep talking about here. But over the next 2 weeks, JMU, 2 midweeks, and then off to UNC Wilmington, you can validate what we saw in Arkansas by following it up the next 2 weeks to get ready for conference play. But I feel like some things are coming together on both on the mound and at the plate. I'm encouraged.
Yeah, we definitely put some runs up on the board this weekend, and they punched us in the mouth. We punched back offensively, left and right, and it was good to see because I think ODU. Well, the Longwood game, we scored all the runs in 1 inning. We kind of we didn't spread it out more, but you like to see the offense more spread out throughout the game instead of having one big inning, and then going silent the rest of the game. But yeah,
and it was up and down the lineup too with the number of guys that participated. I mean, Chandler Riley had 2 hits. Dawson Bryce had 2 hits. Logan Poteet had 2 hits. Thad Ector had 2 hits. Carson Bain had 2 hits. Connor Marinac had 2 hits. I mean, it was widely spread across the order.
Right, and like I said, every year you're going to have to you're going to get a lot of new guys in this day and age of college sports, and you're going to have to. It's going to take a little bit for those guys to mesh and become a team. The shorter it takes, the better, obviously. And I agree with you. I think you can feel some meshing happening, if that's the correct term.
It is now.
When you go on a road to a place like that, and it's a good experience for team chemistry and some stuff like that. So it's a positive in that sense as well. But yeah, proud of the showing. It stinks to get swept, but this is gonna. I think it's gonna help our season moving forward.
They had 9,500 there on Friday, and like 11,000 on Saturday.
Yeah, I got some from the game notes. I got some good numbers on that. Let's see. The Saturday game had an announced attendance of 10,938. Most fans ever to watch a live 49ers baseball game, program history.
Wow.
The 18th most attended game of the 2025 season so far, but 4th most fans watching a game played at a true home college stadium, not a professional park. So,
unbelievable.
That's a big crowd, and it's not many people can say they played in front of a crowd that size in their career.
No. I mean, the folks in North Carolina, the folks you hear talk most about the numbers they bring in are those folks down at Eastern, and even with their biggest crowds, we're talking about 2 to 1 for that crowd from Arkansas. Unbelievable. I mean, that's just, and from talking to some people that were there in the stands, it's not just that 11,000 people were there. It's that 11,000 people were quiet. like dead silent, multiple times as the Niners punched and counterpunched through that game. But to kind of put a bow on Friday, Kevin, if I had told you beforehand that if you sign this piece of paper right here, the Niners were going to score 10 on Friday in Arkansas, and will lead by 8 at one point during the game, you'd have knocked me over to get to the piece of paper to sign it.
I would have, yes.
And that's exactly what happened. We led by 8. We scored 10 in Fayetteville in Baum Walker Stadium. Lost 11-10.
And they're a great team, and you knew they were going to counter. You knew they were going to counterpunch, and the question was whether we could withstand it, and we just came up one run short in that one. So,
yeah. Saturday, again, like I said, almost 11,000. Lost that game 8-5. More production up and down the lineup. Noah had a big weekend. Noah had 3 hits, was 3 for 3 on Saturday. A couple more hits for Bryce. For Dawson. But you just come up short again. Gillespie, the on Saturday it was a little more about the bats, trying to pick up the pitching. Blake probably would like to have a better outing than he did, and JT kind of had his first adversity of the year. Pitched 4 innings, gave up 5. But again, you don't go into that environment and shut them out. That's not going to happen. The offense is going to have to score you some runs.
Right. Yeah, and especially after Friday's game,
Yep.
They used a lot of arms. We used a lot of arms. So you had a feeling that the rest of the weekend was going to be offensive.
Yeah. Couple of names here to add, and they came back later in the weekend, back to Friday. AJ Camp threw 2 shutout innings on Friday, and so did Ed Wagner. Must be that number 20 that Ed's wearing that's got him going, because he's come out of the gate pretty good as well. And he and AJ both. I don't want to say that they're not guys I didn't think would contribute right away, but they were more unknowns to us, I would say, both AJ and Ed. But they've been impressive.
Yeah, and like I said, we're still trying to fill out the roster and the roles, and we got a lot of new pieces to figure out their roles. And yeah, I really like the depth of the pitching staff. I think I said it on the show before, but yeah, it's I feel like we're deeper, top to bottom, than we've been in a long time, and that plays well, and especially coming next week when we got a 5-game week.
Yeah, and then Sunday was Sunday's game almost lulled you to sleep, honestly, because it moved along pretty quickly. Arkansas got the 1-0 lead. They made it 2-0. Then we got back 2-1. They went up 3-1, and then all of a sudden, it just in the 9th inning, business just picked up. Unbelievable. I really thought. First of all, let me get the name right. Parker Coyle. Parker Coyle pitched the 8th against the Niners, and Dave Van Horn's a Hall of Famer. Okay, Van Horn's forgotten more about baseball than I'll ever know, and it's not even close. But Parker Coyle came in the 8th and pitched an immaculate inning, put the Niners down on 9 straight pitches, and then they pulled him. And, I'm looking here. Let me look. I know he was in Let me see.
He's got 1.2 on that in that game.
Yeah, he threw 25 pitches on Friday.
Oh, okay.
He threw 25 pitches on Friday. But the Niners didn't have a darn thing for him. He was just out for a leisurely stroll. So yeah, he had thrown 25 pitches and he threw 17 pitches, 9 of which were in the 8th inning. And Van Horn pulled him. And I remember when that happened, I thought, oh boy, that's interesting. And sure enough, that's where it starts. Christian Fauch came in, didn't get anybody out, gave up 2 runs. They had to bring in cousin Will McIntyre to get the win. They ended up walking the Niners off. But, oh geez. That our McIntyres are spelled the same, Kevin. I don't know if you noticed that.
I noticed that. Yes.
Yeah. So I do. There is a branch of the family out Arkansas out into Oklahoma. So I texted some people that were there, and I said, "We're fine. Cousin Will's not going to let me down," and he did.
Yeah, he did.
He wound up letting me down.
Well, he probably is related to you then.
It's a family trait. It's a family trait. Now everybody gets to know how you feel, Kevin.
I was just joking.
Now everybody gets to know what it's like to get let down by a McIntyre.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
You left it hanging for me, and I just had to turn on it.
That's all right. That's all right. Interesting story out of Sunday. Besides the fact that the Niners made the Hogs go to extras, not extras. They had to walk it off in the 9th. But Andrew Cribbs turned in 5 innings. He gave up two earned. He ended up being charged with 2 earned runs that were left on base when he exited. Or actually, I think that's wrong. I think he got credited for 1 extra or 1 earned run after he had gone out. He already had 1 run. Anyway, he ended up with 2 earned runs charged him. Unbelievably confident outing for Andrew Cribbs. He looked like he belonged up there. I mean, his body language, the stuff he was throwing, he was keeping the Hogs off balance. I can't wait to watch him pitch again. I mean, there's a number of guys I'm excited about watching pitch all year long, but like coming out of last weekend, it's like I really definitely want to see Andrew Cribbs, who's now going to start on Saturday, pitch for the Niners this weekend against James Madison, because I was really excited about what he did. Yeah,
it was impressive. 7 Ks in 5 innings with only 1 walk, only 1 free pass. He was filling up the zone, and against those guys, he only allowed 2 earned runs, really. And you saw that this weekend that the starting rotations been shaken up a little bit, and and Cribbs is moving to Saturday. So I'm excited to see him pitch again. Excited to see the rotation and how it's going to shake out before we get into conference play.
Yeah. Again, we start off saying no moral victories, but unbelievable fight from these guys to just punch and counter punch. A lot of people people forget that Rocky, the original Rocky, ended with Rocky losing. And Apollo Creed saying, ain't going to be no rematch. Ain't going to be no rematch. It kind of had that kind of feel to me. And then the other thing, and I know you saw it too, Kevin, because we talked about it. The interesting thing was, and this is weird, honestly, because, the internet, social media is a terrible place. We can agree on that, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And usually when your team loses, especially when you get swept, the comments are full of gloating or angry gamblers. That's what we see a lot of. It's angry gamblers.
Yeah, there's a lot of angry gamblers lately. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you're gambling on a Charlotte versus Wofford game on a Tuesday night in February, you probably got some gambling issues. You probably got some issues to deal with.
Yeah, if you're gambling on midweek college baseball, and here's what I hope happens if you're out there listening and you gamble on midweek college baseball. I hope the Niners win without covering or whatever it is you need to not happen. I want the Niners to win first and foremost, but my second thing is I want you to lose your money because I think that's funny.
Yeah,
I mean, right? I'm sorry. I just want you to lose your money because it's funny to me.
Yeah. As much as you and I follow this team as closely as we do, I wouldn't feel comfortable gambling or putting any money on any game because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, I'm not a gambler at all, and I know you're not either. But if I was going to place a bet on a college baseball game in general, much less the Niners, it wouldn't be a midweek game because that's where all the crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
How many times do we go into a midweek game not really even sure, waiting for game notes to come out because we're not even sure who's going to start? And I mean, you just don't know. You don't know what the game plan going into that is. It's a bullpen day. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not betting midweek baseball.
It's not for me. It's not for me either. And
no.
Yeah.
No, I'm I don't get it.
I have enough stress on the actual game being played. Not
yes.
To put any money on it.
Yes.
I don't need the added stress.
Yeah, no kidding. So, but all that is to say that what we saw, far from angry gamblers, was Arkansas fans. If you looked at the comments to the Arkansas account, Arkansas fans were talking about what a good Charlotte team that was. They were in our mentions, like Diamond Niner Report's mentions. They were in Charlotte baseball, Charlotte BSB's mentions, complimenting the team. I saw during this week there were Arkansas fans like commenting on tweets about the upcoming weekend. Hey, still impressed with you guys. Be pulling for you. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's I definitely was not expecting that, but it was a pleasant surprise. No, I mean it's usually, like I say, it's the angry gamblers or people that just want to rub it in, and talk smack or whatever, especially when it's a big school, a big budget program beating you, and then they want to pile on. Because I know you'll be shocked to hear this, Kevin, but a lot of those programs have really hardcore fans that didn't go to that school or any other school for that matter. I think they call those Walmart fans, but Arkansas people were really complimentary of the Niners, and for social media, refreshing. Unbelievably refreshing. Now, if we had swept that series, Nick, how do you think? What category would we be in? Would we be in the gloating? I think we would have been in the gloating, probably. What would we have done? Yeah, I would have been complimenting Arkansas on their performance. I'm sure. Yes. I can't even.
Need I remind you that what was this 6 years ago that we started off with mocking their Sue call when we beat them?
Yeah, we called the Hawks. We did call the Hawks
to start the podcast. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just wanted to double check there.
We beat them on the midweek, and we called the Hogs on them.
That's true. Producer Brad, he's our Jiminy Cricket. If you're old enough to know, he's our conscience. I'm sure there would have been something said. I definitely would not have tweeted anything about us knowing what the proper way to treat hogs in North Carolina. I definitely would not have tweeted anything like that.
I'm sure you didn't spend any time thinking about that either.
Just came up with it on the spot. But hey, it's all good. I think we're going to look back on this series. I hope to be looking back on this series, 10 days from now, going, yeah, that was the start of something. That was the start of momentum. It feels like that right now. We didn't have a midweek, so all the arms should be rested and ready to go. Boys got to go work on things in practice. Hopefully everybody, the guys were on spring break this week. The college was on spring break this week. So hopefully the guys got some time away got to put the books aside for a little bit and just kind of work on baseball, and should be feeling good this weekend against James Madison.
Yeah. Kind of a reset for the team. We had three weekends in and get a little break. And now we're going to have another stretch run. Finish out our non-conference weekend schedule with two solid teams on the weekend. We got James Madison. They made a regional last year. Won 2 games in a regional last year at NC State. And then Wilmington, who's always at the top of the CAA, and they've given us fits in the past. We've gone back and forth with them quite a bit. So we got two really good weekends coming up, and I agree with you that we'll really know a lot about this team 10 days from now.
Yeah. So what your weather report for the weekend out there, folks, is for the Friday game, 4 o'clock first pitch, high of 59 Friday. So 4 o'clock first pitch, you're probably going to want to dress warmly and bring a coat. Saturday, however, 2 o'clock first pitch, sunny and 69 degrees. Nice. That's the kind of weather you order right there. Should be a great day at the Hayes. Saturdays at the Hayes. Going to be tailgating, so if you're going to get out there early, we'll be out there doing a little tailgating on Saturday. I'm planning on Saturday being a really fun day on campus. And baseball will be the show in town on that day because softball is on the road, and women's lacrosse is also, I'm not sure if they have a game or not, but it's not a home game if it is. So right there in the along Phillips Road, the boys in green are the only show in town.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be my first opportunity to tailgate. Don't have any youth sports going on Saturday or Friday for that matter. So looking forward to being out there Saturday, hanging out and enjoying a Saturday at the Hayes. We do have some promos.
Do we?
Have we gotten this segment sponsored yet?
No, corporate hasn't gotten on that yet.
Okay, well, this is our weekly promo. We got for Saturday. They got a special promo for Saturday. Fight for Literacy. The Fight for Literacy is Champions for Literacy's national flagship initiative that brings powerful platform of sports and important cause of childhood literacy. So, I'm sure they'll have plenty of information at the game Saturday and how to help those guys out. Season long promotions. You got the Friday night bingo, Friday night flights with. You purchase a hot dog, beer, and large popcorn for $15. Saturday, dog days at the Hayes. Bring your dog. Just be sure you sign them up beforehand. And Sunday, family fun day. You get a family bundle of 4 tickets starting at $10. Kids 14 and under can run the bases, follow the game, weather permitting. So there's your weekly promotions at the Hayes. And
Producer Brad is pointing out that lacrosse played today. And I'm assuming FDU is Fairleigh Dickinson and won 23-7.
I think they played this morning. It was an early game.
Was it?
I thought I saw some tweets about that.
So what was that? What was that Saturday promotion? What, the literacy?
The fight for literacy.
So what do we do?
The game is to bring awareness for children's literacy.
Oh,
and there's going to be opportunities to donate, or support students and etc. I'm sure there'll be more information given it.
Look, I'm not a marketing guru. Okay. I don't even play one on TV, but it seems like we should have saved that. I don't know if we're going to do that every week or not, but it seems like if you were going to do a Saturday where you're trying to raise awareness for literacy, you'd have saved it for the series against Eastern.
I know you're going over there, man.
I know it.
Yeah. Well, that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect. It'll help a lot of people out that weekend.
You threw the lob, and I just came down with it.
Yeah. Well, it would go a long way that weekend.
You would think. I mean, they'll heck, forget raising money at the game. There's like some people you could help there. Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
You can see your dollars at work in the stadium.
Yeah, it's like your tax dollars at work is like your donations at work. We're actually teaching people to read right here. Taking a look at James Madison, they kind of look like us a little bit in respect that they opened up at Florida State right off the bat. They got swept at Florida State. So they had their really tough weekend down in Tallahassee. Lost to Virginia Tech. Last weekend, they lost a series at home to Fairfield. Then they dropped the midweek to Maryland. So they're riding a 3-game losing streak. This is a good opportunity. Niners need to be ready to go tomorrow, and take care of business. It's time to stand on business after that performance last weekend and come out of the gate. Be Blake Gillespie on the mound tomorrow, making his first Friday start with the rotation shakeup this week. So should be a good day to get a W. Let's do it.
Yeah, I like it. They are a Sun Belt Conference team. They did well in the Sun Belt. Had a 46 RPI last year, and yeah, they're reeling a little bit right now. So hopefully we can jump on them before they get it figured out.
Kevin, you're better at remembering this stuff than I am. And this isn't even their current coach, I don't believe, but several years back, this had been pre-COVID. James Madison, if I'm not mistaken, was like leading the league like in offense for like a couple of seasons. Were they not? I mean, they were or not like leading the country. They were top 5 in the country in offense. They had a couple of guys that could really mash, and they were putting up some big offensive numbers in Harrisonburg. I might be remembering it wrong. I don't know.
I know they had a really good team back in 2018. We faced them we faced them in a regional. That might have been the year. I can't. My memory's fading, but
yeah, I know. But they've had some really good ball clubs over the years.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not
successful program. Yes, successful program.
They're a solid program. Them and UNC Wilmington, which we'll talk about for next week's show. But I mean, these are good measuring sticks. I think. I mean, certainly measuring yourself against Arkansas on the road is a good challenge. But these are the types of series that we need to be ready to jump on.
Right. I'm excited. I'm excited to see some games at the Hayes, and I'm excited because next week is our spring break, and we are going to try to see the Niners a little bit. Going to try to get up to Boone. Mm-hmm. Going to try to get to Wilmington on the weekend for a couple games. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're all in on that. if you're going if you're going to Wilmington, well, if you're going to Boone either, give us a shout because we're going. That game in Boone is on Tuesday, and then we've got a home game against Davidson on Wednesday, like you said. I plan on leaving Thursday morning for the coast for the weekend. I have no idea how we're going to record a show next week, Kevin. I don't even know when we would be doing that.
That's why I was mentioning it a little bit here. The Niners are going the whole state. They're starting in the mountains and going to the coast for the week. So it'll be cool. I don't really like the 5-game weeks, but it's okay.
I've never been a fan of the 5-game weeks, especially playing a team like Davidson in that second game. I hate to bring this up, but you remember we played them in K-Town last year, and that was one of the worst 49er games I've ever personally witnessed. It was painful to be in that ballpark, and you know how much I love Atrium Health Ballpark, and it was painful to be in that ballpark last year against Davidson. You're just putting so much. You're really asking a lot of your pitching staff, but.
Yeah, but I think we're deeper this year, like I said, and
we are. We're definitely deeper this year.
We'll get a chance to see what we got, see more of what we got. The deeper we go, and
you can't develop depth without using some of it. That's how you do it. So, the staff, when they put together the schedule, they don't shy away from challenges. They haven't shied away from one yet, and they're not going to. And I fully support that. But, 5-game weeks give me heartburn. I think that's that feeling. That's that sensation I'm feeling right now. We'll see what happens. Taking a look at James Madison, looks like they're still kind of trying to find their way offensively. They're not exactly setting the world on fire at the plate. As of yet, you never know when a team's going to get hot, but and it kind of looks like they're maybe doing some retooling of their weekend rotation, like we are right now too. So
we got TBDs on both. We got TBDs on both sides of the starting rotation.
Yeah. So for the Niners, it's Friday, Gillespie, Saturday, Cribbs, Sunday to TBD. I think their TBD is on Saturday. Is that right?
Yeah, TBD is gonna pitch for them on Saturday and then pitch for us on Sunday.
Well, I don't like that they get TBD first because TBD will be fresher on Saturday than on Sunday. So,
yeah, I
don't know.
Our conference got some big wins this week or recently. I think UAB beat Auburn this week.
UTSA took out
Texas A&M. Texas A&M. Yeah, I'm just looking at that. Trying to think of others, but conference is looking pretty tough. USF had a big victory. I can't remember who they beat. Was it Florida?
They beat Did they? They had a game against UCF. How are they doing that? I don't remember. I
don't know. I could have sworn they had South Florida had a big win, but I'll effort that real quick.
I watched a good bit of that San Antonio Texas A&M game. The Aggies right now, I don't know if you saw this, but they had a player tweeting about telling their fans to calm down and be nicer to them.
To them,
but they're on the struggle bus. A&M is, and that game the other night was played in heavy wind conditions. But they were still making. I think the Aggies made 5 errors in that game, including a fly ball in left field that was moving like crazy because of the wind. But if the ball hits the webbing of your glove, and you play left field for the Texas A&M Aggies, you probably need to catch that ball. you're probably getting paid enough to be expected to catch that ball out there in left field, and he didn't come up with it. Just a wild night on the diamond. And I really watched the game because I wanted to get a look at San Antonio again. And they're a typical Pat Hallmark team. They're just gritty, and they play station to station baseball. That's what they're doing again. And so when we're going to have to deal with them. And that game's at Hayes this year.
Yeah. South Florida, they did play UCF in a series. They beat them. It's a crazy series. They run ruled UCF on Friday. Then they got run ruled Saturday and got run ruled Sunday. So
all 3 games were a run rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7-inning games, like high school.
To our earlier point, people bet on this stuff. UCF got run ruled on Friday and then run ruled South Florida 2 days in a row. Yeah. Let's bet on that.
Sometimes it'd be like that, right?
Sometimes it'd be like that. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, it's good. The conference, I don't know. It's a little early. I'm not even going to pull up the RPI page and look at it. It's too early to even think about that. 2 more weeks. Let's get to the non-conference, and then we'll take a look at strength of schedule and conference RPI standing and all that good stuff. We just need some more data points on that anyway. But yeah, it's the league. I would say I don't think. Ask me. I think we said this before preseason. I don't think there's a favorite in the league right now. I think this looks wide open. Everybody voted for ECU, and we all said we know why. We get it. But man, they're do they look like they're ready to just run over all the league at this particular moment?
I watched a lot of their series versus George Mason in the first weekend, and they pretty much needed walk-offs to win the series, and they got beat pretty bad in the first game. So, I think it's up in the air. I guess they're still the team to beat until
somebody does it. That's right.
Until somebody does it. But you're right. It's wide open. I think there's 4 or 5 teams that can win the conference this year.
Producer Brad is pointing out that FAU is 10-2. FAU, there's 2 things that happen. There's 2 things that happen every year. UTSA is 12-3. UTSA has won, I think, 11 games in a row right now. I think that's what they're riding, an 11-game winning streak. FAU starts off hot every year, it seems like. And then they run into trouble somewhere in the middle. So FAU being 10-2, UAB being 10-2, you mentioned they had that big win. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see what's up with them. It feels kind of weird trusting UAB because of what's happened. But by the way, anybody noticing, Rice is doing it again. Rice is doing it again, folks. Are they going to be looking for another coach again? Is this year 2 for that coach?
This is 3. This is 3rd year.
Yeah, year 3.
Well, they always do this. They always used to do this. They used to schedule really hard and get their tail kicked early, and then by the time conference came around, they were rolling. At least under Wayne Graham. Yeah. Since Wayne Graham's been gone.
They schedule hard and they lose, and they just keep losing.
Yeah. So they're 2-10 right now.
Cruz, right?
Yeah.
Coach Cruz. I don't know. I don't understand exactly what's going on down there in Rice because they're in a hotbed for college baseball, and they are in a position where they should be able to succeed. But I mean, even within the conference, I know college, we talk about how much college athletics has changed and it's affected all of us. I mean, heck, we played against ECU's best pitcher on Saturday. I mean, not just their best pitcher, their best player. ECU's best player pitched for the Hogs on Saturday, Zach Root. That's just the world we live in. But it seems like Rice should be able to put it together a little better than that. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll have a big old state of the conference conversation in a couple weeks after all the out of conference games the weekend out of conference games are over. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if UTSA is always tough. FAU always has talent. UAB, I need to see a little bit more from them before you start trusting them yet, because they've been too shaky. And the Niners still have a lot to prove, which we hope to prove it over the next 2 weeks, right?
Right.
So
yeah, I really hope we can get like 2 or 3 really good teams in the conference and with at-large resumes by the end of the season. I'm hoping we don't go to the one bid. I hope we have several representatives in the NCAA tournament. But it's yet to be seen. We'll see.
In some ways, it's kind of a bad. When you say you're like, "Oh, the league's wide open," that sounds good. But then maybe upon further review, come Selection Sunday, the league being wide open, it's probably not going to help us. We probably need, like, over the long term, we probably need like 3 programs that are constantly at the top of the pile.
Right. And the bottom teams, they can't be RPI anchors. We've got to. I don't know. It's difficult this year, this time, this day and age, but it just hurts. It hurts the conference.
Yeah. Well, I have some good news for you, Kevin. You too, Brad. We play baseball in about 16 hours. It's time for that JMU series to get started. So maybe you're listening to this. We'll be dropping this a little later this week, I think. But maybe this is your ride to the game on Friday, listening, or maybe your ride to the ballpark on Saturday for Literacy Day at the Hayes on Saturday, or pregame with this at some point. As you see fit, and kind of get ready for the weekend. We always have fun like this. It's good. We love having people on, Kevin, Brad, you too. I know we love having people on. We love talking to coaches. We love talking to players. But, it's good just to do this every once in a while. Just the boys. We get in here and, this is old school. This is the way we used to do it.
Yeah, without the teacher in the room.
Yeah, without a chaperone. Then we can.
We can speak freely because no one's going to get in trouble in this group. But
no one in this group is going to get in any additional trouble.
Yeah, our guests have to worry about stuff like that, about getting in trouble, being associated with us, but we don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah. So, all right, folks, that's it for us. We are flat out of time. Producer Brad's giving us the hook. So we hope you've enjoyed this. Make sure you look for this wherever you find your podcast. Subscribe, notify, all that good stuff. Find us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Diamond Niner Report. We love hearing from you all. Make sure to reach out and say hello. If you're old-fashioned like we are, and we are old-fashioned, just come up and talk to us at the Hayes, or maybe even in the tailgate lot on Saturday. We'll be out there. We won't be hard to find. Come find us, and we'll just talk a little Niner baseball right there. So, all right, folks, we are out of here. For Kevin, for producer Brad, this has been Nick saying we'll see you at the Hayes.